Well, the federal government, they didn't seem to stall here in sending out recovery money during this pandemic. Local businesses, they tell us that loans through the pandemic made all the difference for them. And a new federal government project hopes to support these businesses, but it's not that easy, we're told. KION's Medley Waintal has those details for us in a special report.
From everything closing in March 2020 to mask mandates keeping people from eating out, Jonathan Siegel, the owner of the Flying Artichoke in Salinas, said if it wasn't for the federal loan he received that year, he would have had to close completely.
I had budgeted for them for a couple of months that we'll be able to pay them. After that, either we shut it down or do something else.
But despite the restaurant staying afloat, he said he only received $25,000 from the PPP loans to last him at most 2 months to pay his entire staff. And like many restaurant owners, he had to pivot. He applied for the Small Business Association loan, which offered him $100,000.
I didn't know it was going to be this long, so I just took the $75,000. And they told me, most of this other restaurant, why didn't you take the loan? And he said, I don't want to be in debt.
Siegel is an example of how a loan can help an individual business stay on the market. And even though he's still paying it back 2 years later, the federal loan allowed him to pay his employees and keep his business running.
It would help a lot as far as employing people, but as far as business-wise, how to grow them and all those things, it's going to be tough because people don't go out. Like right now, they still don't go out.
And like the Flying Artichoke, there are countless businesses across the country who are facing similar struggles since the pandemic started. But just last month, the Biden administration announced a program that is supposed to help minority-owned businesses receive loans.
I'm very proud to announce that almost $9 billion is now available to increase lending to small businesses in underserved communities.
Biden's Emergency Capital Investment Program, also known as ECIP, which aims to increase lending in small and minority-owned businesses in underdeserved rural and urban and native communities. Out of nearly 200 credit unions and banks that receive these funds, 10 are in California and only 3 are in Oakland and San Francisco. We reached out to the 3 loaning institutions to see if they provide loans to any businesses on the Central Coast, but only one of them worked with clients outside of the Bay Area.
Our mission is a triple bottom line banking institution, meaning that we focus on the community, on the climate, and financial education.
Even though its offices are located in Oakland, Beneficial State Bank offers loans throughout the state of California, but they haven't received any applications from business owners in our area. This means that large counties like Monterey or Santa Cruz that have a significant percentage of minority businesses in rural areas doesn't have access to these funds. However,
Beneficial State Bank is going to be using them to push some of these funds out to those communities that we serve for small businesses in the form of lending. If it's a nonprofit, it may be in the form of grants and so forth.
The bank hasn't received these funds yet, but Manny says the capital inflow from the Treasury Department will help banks like Beneficial State Bank make more loans and focus on their mission. And his advice for businesses that would like to apply:
a good practice is to basically have all entity formation documentation in line, to have financial statements in line, to assess themselves with someone with expertise to make sure that they have everything in line in terms of financials, documentation.
Businesses now face a new concern, the massive contagion of the Omicron variant, and that fewer people can go out to consume. Support will be fundamental for minority businesses to be able to move forward. With KION News Channel 546, I'm Medley Waintal.